Let's get the show on the road. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Fortune Street. I'm your host, as always, the 12th Kind. Last time, I believe we did a board in one or two episodes. It was short. In this episode, let's grab... So we got Daisy. I don't have Peach. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that, and then sure. We'll get some Dragon Quest representation in there. So yeah, it it was interesting. What? We were on... I've already forgotten. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, we did do the slime map. It just... I forgot what the mini-map looked like, and it really confused the hell out of me. So yeah, today we're doing Mount Magmageddon. Yeah, let's use those settings. Oh, maybe I should have increased the... Nah. It's fine. Determine the order of play using the number machines. Also, I looked into it, and the only way I can play as something other than this incredibly outdated me is if I was doing multiplayer, which is annoying. So I still haven't figured out how to sort of undo the home brewing thing. So that's great. Okay, let's see. If I go here, I can go up or down. I would press a button. You know what? I want to go this way. Let's if I can help it, I want to like try to grab this like upper area and just see how much I can, you know, how big my empire can be. I want to try to play a bit more aggressively when it comes to buying properties. You know, I want my properties to be in the way. So who knows? Maybe that'll work out. Maybe that won't. Oh, excuse me. The only problem I see is that there is a button, and I cannot remember for the life of me what that button does. Oh, we're being teleported. We've been teleported over... Ooh, this would actually be a good place to conquer as well. Because if someone gets trapped there, they have a high chance on landing on my stores. So, okay. I think that's... We want to try to take over the area near the bank, and then we also want to take over this like remote location, try to make it as painful as possible. Oh, that's what the button does. Interesting. Okay. If I go down, I get that. If I go this way. Ooh, that one's actually $90. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna try to do like a full loop of this like lower area. I heard a noise. What the heck? Oh, it's like some sort of delivery van thing. Could be a moving van, actually. But yeah, so hope y'all are doing well. Work starts up again. For me, this is May 31st. So in 2 days. Oh yeah, this map doesn't have districts. It has rows. That's right. I was wondering where the colors were. But yeah, okay. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so we have a great start to the semester. We have a fucking department-wide meeting Monday afternoon, and I hate that. I don't know what it's about. I don't think even my boss knows what it's about. But it is a department-wide thing. And it's a vague email that just has a subject and a time and day. So it's fantastic, you know? Because the only times that anyone in the college does a vague meeting invite that has a threatening aura is when something bad is happening. So I am mentally preparing myself to have to deal with the most dumbest bullshit to be uttered from the mouth of a superior. So who knows? Maybe when I get to recording stuff next week, I'll be like, yeah, so I was fired because I told off the department head. Who knows? Who knows? I did tell my boss that, because my boss has been worried about if she's just gonna get fired because a lot of my coworkers have been just kind of had a bone to pick with her. Some of them I can kind of get it, but others I'm I think you're just being young and immature, because you're completely miscategorizing things, and people have done it to me too, which is insane. But I mean, at this point, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You know, I already am dealing with, so much. I've got to worry about my rights as a queer person being taken away. I've got to worry about fascism being on the rise. Germany's moving troops towards Russia. And Russia is threatening to start launching nukes all over the place. So there's the end of the world. It's just the economy's crumbling. Everything is kind of fucked, honestly. And I just I'm at the point in my life where I'm man, just fucking leave me alone. I just want to live in a cave in the middle of nowhere, with the most passive of passive incomes, of I write a book and then I go and I put it up online for people to buy, and I just live off the land and the occasional trip into town to get a pizza or some shit, I don't. I guess at the end of the day, I don't want to be fucking bothered anymore. It's I just I just don't give a shit anymore. Like, my ability to care is starting to fade away, and you know, part of me is concerned about that. You know, like, for years, a lot of my you know, closest friends, they really appreciated that I was like a very kind, you know, caring person. But like nowadays I'm like, fuck it, I'm an asshole. That's it. You know, it's not cutesy, it's not demure. But there's a certain point in life where, in order to survive, you just have to stop giving a shit about people. You know? Like, there's only so much that I, as a broke-ass motherfucker stuck at home with their parents, can do. And it sucks, you know. I'm definitely probably going to piss off a lot of like people who like, you know, are like chronically online being like, oh, you should care about every single little thing, you know, otherwise you're a terrible person. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'm a terrible person. And I will wear that as like a badge of honor, because honestly, we're all gonna fucking die, you know? Some of us will die more miserably painful, terrifying deaths than the others. But we are at a point where, you know, we have like narcissistic man babies in power of you know, countries that have obscene amount of nuclear weapons. And you know, when the bombs start flying, you won't be able to care, you know? It's just going to be something that cannot be in the cards. There's an interesting phenomenon that I had read about back in 2020. Late 2020, early 2021. You know, when the pandemic was really taking off. And it was a concept known as compassion fatigue. And if I remember, compassion fatigue is when you are trying to be as compassionate as possible. You are trying to give it every single cause your all. You know, you're trying to support every cause there is. You're trying to, you know, you're trying to fund efforts to end world hunger. You know, you're protesting injustice brought forth by your governments. You're doing this and that and trying to make the world a better place because you have all this compassion and you want to do the right thing. And then after a while, you stop feeling as strongly. You know? You look at it and you go, well, what is the point? You know? What's the point of doing anything? And you know, you start to care a little less, you know? You care a little less of the pandemic. You care a little less about, you know, the fact that you haven't heard from your neighbors in a while. You know, and normally they would, at the very least, you know, like, text you or say hi from their backyard. But you haven't heard from them in a while. You know, you know, you try to get, like, focus on your hobbies. Your hobbies don't interest you anymore. Especially if those hobbies revolve around doing something for other people. You start to become more bitter. You start to roll your eyes at people who say that you should care. And this keeps happening and happening and happening until eventually you're numb to the whole world and you just don't care. Like, oh, you know, my neighbor got gunned down in the street. Oh, you know, it sucks to be them. Oh, it's that, you know, millions of people are losing their homes because of the banks. Damn, you know, guess that sucks. And you just can't care anymore. And that's something that concerns me, you know? The fact that, you know, I should have an infinite capacity to, you know, care about people. And instead, I am starting to, you know, like, really question, what's the fucking point? You know? What is the point? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, it's something that's been on my mind recently. And, you know, it's kind of, like, started to, you know, go the other way, you know, where that slow loss of a capacity to be compassionate to others starts turning into a lowered ability to have compassion for yourself. You know, an example I will give is recently I have been really struggling with the idea of, you know, trying to promote my stuff to, like, try to get people to, like, you know, buy my zines or, you know, buy the tabletop games or whatever. And my social media feeds are flooded with other people pleading for help, you know, people who are, you know, on the verge of homelessness, you know, people who, you know, are completely destitute. You know, hell, even there's a genocide, you know, there's a genocide happening in front of our very eyes across the ocean in Gaza, and there are people pleading for help every day. And I look at my own situation and I think, well, why am I asking for help? you know? I've got a part-time job, which is more than what most people who are asking for help have. You know, I have a roof over my head. You know, I'm living with my parents, which means I still have, you know, a functional relationship with them, which is more than what could be said, you know, especially for, you know, my fellow queers. And so, you know, it makes me kind of go, well, why the hell am I asking for help then? You know, that seems ridiculous to, you know, dare to ask for help when there are people in a much worse situation, you know? And also, why am I asking for help when, you know, I have those privileges afforded to me? You know, I've got, you know, it's one of those things that just kind of like, I feel bad for asking for help. I feel bad for having a price tag on my stuff, you know. It used to be that I had some stuff on my itch.io page that you know, had a price point on it. You know, no option to just like download it for free. It was just like, here's the price. And you know, gosh, I think a week ago or so, I had one of those nights where I was laying in bed and I was like, this is ridiculous. Why am I asking for, why do I dare to take someone's money that could be going to someone else who needs it? And so in this sort of like depression fueled self-hatred for perceiving myself as a failure for not acting upon the privileges that I have, I went through and for anything that had a fixed price point, I set it to optional donation just because, you know, that was the quickest button I could hit because I wanted to get it done with. You know, I also looked at, excuse me. I also looked at all the posts I had that, promoted my works. And I deleted every single last one of them. That was a dog. Okay. And I, like, even both the ones that, you know, like, I deleted ones that, like, I had just recently made, and I especially deleted ones that got any amount of attention. You know, there were some that I had posted in threads where it was like a share your work kind of thing, and the thread creator had shared the post that I made, and, like, even those I just deleted. And, you know, for every post I deleted, I went into my feed and shared 2 other things, like 2 other like GoFundMes or fundraisers or what have you. Because I felt like it was, you know, it was wrong of me to dare to ask for people's money, you know. And it's something that I've struggled with for a long time. I've had this like hem and haw with asking for help. You know, and honestly, I don't know where it comes from. I really don't. It just was a mentality that I didn't realize I had until it activated, I guess. It was really weird. You know, to this day, I still don't understand. Yeah, let's go there. I need the teleport so I can go to the bank. But yeah, you know, it's really weird because I remember, you know, before going off to Texas State University, you know, my mom had me do a little fundraiser. She encouraged it, you know. And, you know, she encouraged me to, you know, open up an Etsy store. Partly because, like, I had a bunch of Pokemon cards. And I was like, man, I kind of don't want all of these. I kind of want to sell them, but selling individual cards sounds like a pain. And at the time, we didn't have a card shop anymore in my town. You know, so it was one of those things of like, okay. And so my mom was like, hey, you could open an Etsy store, sell packs of cards. And I was like, oh, okay. But, you know, I think it's one thing of, you know, starting up an Etsy store or like doing a little fundraiser where you sell, cute little plushies. I forget what they're called, but they were the cutest little things. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a form of pride, you know? Like I remember, oh God, I don't know why it's so funny, but I remember, it was the fall semester, of 2021. So it was fall 2021. And earlier that year, I lost my dog. We had to put her down. She had cancer. And, you know, it was devastating. But I was just kind of soldiering on. And, you know, I talked about how, you know, I was like dealing with all these things, and, you know, I felt like I wasn't concentrating. I was thinking about dropping some classes and changing my minor to something that was easier. But But, you know, I was still pushing on because I had to push on because, like, you know, this is the real world and there's no, you know, you can't help everyone. So, and I kind of gotten used to, like, having to do things on my own. You know, I'd lost 2 other, like, close friends. And it ruined me, but, you know, I kept going on. You know, I was still functional when I was out in public. I was functional in class. You would not know just by looking at me that I had just gotten the most horrendous news you could get about a friend. Especially a friend you consider to be like family. You just wouldn't. And you know, I kind of took pride in that resiliency. And I remember my therapist asked me, he was like, have you ever thought about, you know, did you ever ask for like extensions or accommodations? And I was like, no, why would I? In the past, I was always able to get right back to my schoolwork, to get right back and go to work the next day with a smile on my face and a how do you do to my coworkers. So why the fuck would I need accommodations? And even then, you know, like I was urged to seek accommodations, and honestly, in the end, the accommodations that were available did not apply to me. They weren't. Nothing they offered was anything that I needed. Because honestly, what I really needed, which I didn't know at the time, was a fucking break. I have to laugh. You know, me laughing is giving you permission to laugh as well. Laugh with me. But yeah, so I had gone through the whole rigmarole of getting accommodations. And then the only thing that they gave me, there were 2 things. One was, time and a half on exams, and the other thing was lightened course load. So if I was to drop down to half-time, that would be considered full-time. But I didn't even need that. Like, that was something I was just like, okay, because I found out, like, I still got it because, like, I wasn't exactly sure about, like, halftime and all that. But, you know, I got it anyways, just to be safe. And then I found out that, you know, I think I ended up with 5 classes. Because I showed up really, really early to my, German literature class, and there was another German class before it by a previous professor that, like, all of my all of my classmates from German 2 were in, and I was like, okay, sure. So I was in 5 classes. I ended up dropping both of them. Excuse me. Dropped both of those German classes, and I felt really bad about it. But that took me down to 3 classes, and I learned that that puts me at 3/4 time, which is still accepted for financial aid. So I wasn't going to have to like pay back anything. Fascinating. God, a drop in 13% in all of your shops. That's rough. But yeah. And you know, I was doing good on my exams. Like, I didn't need extra time at all. And so I was just like, man, this all feels pointless. Like, I don't need these. I went through all this trouble for what? For what exactly? Forced buyout. You can buy a vacant plot or shop for 3 times its value. What the fuck was that? Sure. 420. Nice. 234. 600. What's your value? That would be 900. Because it's normally like, what, 5 times? I could grow my empire. Let's see. I've got 3 shops to take over here. 4, I guess. I've barely made a dent here. I don't know if it would be a wise investment. 468, 930. I think either here or up here would be the better investment. 900, 1230, 1110, and 1080. Yeah, let's go for this one. Like, even though the scrap metal supplier in the loop that I'm currently in would be the cheapest, this gives me more potential to drain the others of their money. So, yeah, you know, I just kind of like, I was having like this growing sense of pride of like, see, even in some of my darkest moments, I didn't need accommodations. I didn't need help. And if someone were to ask if I needed help, I wouldn't even know how to answer. Other than, no, I'm good. I'm fine. Like, I'm still getting good grades. I'm still, you know, showing up to work. You know, I'm not bedridden. I'm just here. I exist. I'm alive. I'm eating. I'm moving. I'm doing something. You know, I'm not just stuck in bed all day. You know, I'm getting up. I'm, you know, and that all culminated into this the struggle I have now of, you know, the whole you know, why should I put a price tag on my stuff? You know, yeah, I have my Etsy store. But I haven't done anything with it in forever. It's kind of fallen into obscurity, actually. It's been swallowed by the algorithms. Oh, wow, nothing. Oh, okay. Alright, fine. Yeah, it's like you either go to the place with the bank or you go to the place with the bank. Cool, thanks, game. But yeah, so, it was just kind of like one of those things. And it's something, yeah. Now I will say, when I was tabling at, festivals, that was, somehow that was different, I was there. I think, oh, you know what it is? It just clicked in my head why, like, going to a festival or just having the Etsy shop, not promoting it, just having it, those things, that's, to me, that's fine. And for a moment, I was like, why is that? It's because at a festival, especially Zine Fest, people are just moving, and you don't do anything. You just you sit there, you engage with anyone that walks up to your table, and you chat, you tell them about your stuff, but it's one of those things where people go in and there's an expectation that you have to sell, or not that you have to sell, that you have to engage in the ritual of commerce, we shall say. Also, this is the first minigame we've gotten this board. The other one had tons of minigames. Wow. Oh, memory block. Oh, man. I wonder if there's ever been... Who would choose the mini blocks? Because the mini blocks seem to have always been Bowser's. Like, why? Anyways. Not the subject at hand. But yeah, and also, like, on Etsy, there's that same sort of thing where, you are expected to engage in, sort of a transactional relationship. But, for something like an Itch.io page, it's the focus, where the fuck? 2 hearts. Oh, it's all the way over there. Okay, so I either land on my own shops or someone else's shop. Alright. No, I'm not gonna spruce anything up. Wow, Daisy and I have been like neck and neck this whole time. Oh, excuse me. Good golly. But yeah, you know, on itch.io, there is, like, yeah, there are some people with, stuff like their games or their books or whatnot have a fixed, price tag. But for the most part, it's, people just have it be like an optional payment. And so there's this sort of like I've seen it. I've seen it. Actually, yes, this is what I want. In my own analytics, you know, stuff that I have available, where payment is not required. See more downloads, see more views. Like, people actually clicking on the page when it appears in search results. When there is no hard you have to pay. You know, when payment is mandatory, things just don't do well. Unless you make like an absolute banger product, you know, product. Oh my God. The cult of capitalism has infected my mind with madness. And it is a sight to behold. Number of shops you own. Ooh. Fuck yeah, look at that paycheck. But yeah, so it's like, it's one of those things of, you know, you just go like, man, what do I do? Do I continue to have price points? Do I make it free? Do I make payment optional? And, you know, at the end of the day, I can't say anything to be, where I just straight up, I have the setting for no payments, which is like basically saying, no, you are not allowed to give me money. Because I know if I gave into that voice, you know, that voice in the back of my head that says, do it, make it impossible for people to pay you, my brother would run like 4,000 miles an hour straight to me and kick my ass into the Shadow Realm. So that's it, you know. That's the only thing that keeps me from absolutely making it impossible for people to give me money. Is because I might get my ass kicked for it, you know. Lovingly, of course. And if it wasn't obvious, like, that was just all... That's hyperbolic. He wouldn't actually kick my ass. Why on earth would I do that? No. That was so dumb. That was like the dumbest card ever. Sell it back to the bank for 500 more? A player could buy it for 5 times. What are you talking about? Hell, the shop that I bought out for 900, that was a whole 600 gold more. You know? Why would I accept such a bad deal, you know? I guess if I was, like, strapped for cash and I really needed that extra 500, I would sell, like, probably one of the high-value stores for 500. But, yeah. Yeah. So that's just kind of like where I've been at mentally. Really, no more capital. Okay. You know what? Yeah, well, I'll put the full 200 in there. So yeah. But like, you know, I'll be frank with y'all. Even as I'm sitting here recording this and I'm talking about it out loud, and I do, logically, I hear the ridiculousness in my thought process, and to be honest, I've heard it countless times from my brother about how ridiculous this sort of mindset I have is. I still, like, am unsure about going back to posting about my things. Because even though, that's the thing. Oh my god. Here's the thing. My shoulder just popped. Oh my god. There's some things that people who excuse me, good god. People who have not experienced who not have, it's a chronic thing, you know. Mental illness conditions are chronic. They're permanent. You can't positive mindset your way out of depression. You can't be cured of anything when it comes to the brain. You can manage the symptoms, and some people are really good at managing their symptoms. But, you know, I'm never going to be freed from the madness. And I think that's one of the most frustrating things, is that logically, I know it's ridiculous to take down those posts, to remove, or not necessarily remove the ability to payment, because that hasn't happened yet, but to continue to do things to make it harder for people to be able to support me through like donations or purchases or whatever. I logically, I understand that we are in a fascist late stage capitalism fucking corpo state, and no amount of turn that mindset into a grind set Jimbo is going to help. I could sit here for hours explaining every single possible argument that someone could come into my comments or up into like my face. Also, I just smacked the shit out of my microphone. I'm so sorry. And be like, look, I can tell you all of the logical arguments that you are about to share, and I would agree with you. That's the most frustrating thing about mental illness, is that you're, to some degree, you're kind of trapped within your own mind. You know, like, logically, I know all of this is bullshit. Logically, I know that I should be asking for help. Logically, I know that the job market in my town is awful. And the only, actual high-paying jobs are in the plants. But like the chemical plants that I live not too far from. Don't think about that too hard, by the way. Yes, I know that's terrifying. That was like a neutral card. Everyone gets the legendary 7 on a 6-sided die. Like, literally, like, my job right now, it's really hard to get the hours that I need. Considering, like, all the crap that is going on. But also, it is the highest paying job that I qualify for within, like, a 10-mile radius. And it's only part-time too, which is ridiculous. So it's one of those things where I know, like, some of you hearing this would really like to just grab me by the shoulders and say, Callie, my dear, sweet Callius de 12th kind, for the love of God, put price tags on your shit and get back to marketing. Oh, it's not everyone that moves 7. It was just the next person. What? Okay. Weird. But yeah, you would shake me by the shoulders and say, put the price tags back on. Go through and logically evaluate all of your projects and put a fucking price tag on them. Not optional. An honest to God price tag. And then go to your blue sky. Take the one authorized, deleting your own shit is going to be the one where you lament posting about your projects. Posting about trying to post where you're trying to sell something. Take that down and instead schedule a bunch of posts about your fucking projects. Just do it. If my brother was like, if he and I were like living together, he would do the same thing. He would catch wind that, I was thinking about removing price tags or taking down stuff or whatever. And he'd grab me by the shoulders and go, Callie, you are fucking stupid beyond stupid. You are stupid. You are a stupid person's idea of being stupid. That is how dumb you are being. Instead of that tweet, or not that tweet, I don't know what they're calling, blue sky, posts, wing flaps. That would actually be kind of fucking cool. Clouds. Who knows? You know, instead of that post you're about to make, where you apologize for daring to share your work as an artist who needs money, especially since you have to pay for your own health and dental. Instead, make a post about your cool shit. Also, the reason why I stepped on this shop was because I thought I could fucking buy it. And also, I was kind of distracted by me talking. So many of you were probably wondering, oh my god, is she going to mention the fact that she went the wrong fucking way? Yes. I did go the wrong fucking way. But yeah, you know, logically, it all makes sense. You know. Like, I'll sit here and I'll agree with you. This is all stupid. Having to fight yourself on the mental battleground to accept help, something humans are wired to do because we are social creatures. If someone is completely 100% alone, even if they are an introvert, they will go insane. You know, a lot of people are, you know, to sort of exemplify that, there was a thing that came across my TikTok where it's like someone turned a Boeing 747 into like a whole like complex thing, and if you know, live there in isolation, you didn't talk to anyone else there, you just had minimum interaction with the crew, and you did not even have any electronic devices or access to the internet, you'd get, I think it's $100,000. And if you lasted, you know, only like 30 months, I think? No, 30 months? What the fuck? 30 days. You would still get like 20,000. And, you know, I saw, you know, a thing in the comments that was like, oh, they didn't design this with introverts in mind. It's like, honey boo boo, you would go insane. You know, the only thing that is going to keep you sane is those extremely brief human interactions. You don't recognize it, but engaging on social media, to some extent, you know, does fulfill that psychological need for humans to be connected. Oh, fuck yeah. Hold on, I gotta concentrate. Also, excuse me. There we go. I think I, like, double bid. But it's fine. That's what I wanted. That's what I thought I was getting. That one turn. But yeah, you know, like there's a reason why solitary confinement is considered a crime against humanity, is considered cruel and inhuman punishment. It's because it fucking is. Yeah, you're an introvert. But that means you will still go insane, my sweet, innocent summer child. Oh my god. I think it's a little bit silly. We as human beings are a little bit silly. From the fact that our biology is deeply flawed, to the fact that we can make like, we know logically something is like incorrect, you know, like, especially like that nagging voice in the back of our head that says, no, don't do it. Don't try to take, you know, if you try to promote your stuff, you're going to be taking money from somewhere else. You know, logically, that's bullshit. But yet somehow, our logic is not the thing that is the winner. It's the emotion. Ooh. 2050. It's so tempting. Fuck it. Let's do it. Yes, let's do it. Let's go. Woof woof. Jesus Christ. Well, those things make me want to bark like a dog. The first person to get that reference will get both a heart, a like, and a pin of honor from me. You get all three of those things. But yeah, you know, that, yeah, I can sit here, like, middle of the day, and be like, yeah, this is all quite silly. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know why. I am so deeply ruled by not even true emotions. Just like my little fucked up brain. You know, just a little guy. A little fucked up little guy. Oh my god. I think this is my favorite map so far. It's just stupid. But yeah. Oh my gosh. So my alternative is to be teleported over there. Or I could continue to disrupt Elena and Princessa, trap Daisy in here, and slowly bleed her dry. Let's fucking go! I'm evil. Oh, man. Also, I looked over at the time, and it is like an hour. But, like, I feel like I'm so close to winning. And I don't know, if I cut it off here, the next recording might... The next episode might only be, you know, like 15 minutes or so. So I want to keep going. I want to see if there's an end. Is there an end? Do we learn what our purpose here is? Is it just to exploit people we barely know? That's if you're playing single player. to exploit our friends if we're playing multiplayer. Is that the point? This is the I don't know what it is, but the last couple of times that I have sat down to record Fortune Street, I have gone on a tirade, and I think it's because this is filler content. You know, it's not you know, an official Let's Play. This is like super casual. And so I'm sitting here, someone who normally hates being vulnerable, and instead I'm like, let me talk to y'all about how my fucked up little brain works, or more aptly, how it doesn't. It's so goofy. Yeah. Let's get ourselves a card. 1 of 14. 40 times. Take your level times 40 from all other players. Holy shit. Okay. Fuck yeah. Take care to use it wisely. No. I'm doing my best here. It's because I am the supreme ruler of the galaxy. On this kid's just a fucked up little board. I don't even know what shop that is. I'll have to like take a look. This is kind of silly. No, wait, she got on a portal. No, I forgot about the portals. God damn it, they both made it. No. Well, maybe if I can keep them locked up there. Forced to traverse my world of horrors forever, I will win. No. I only have like what, one shop down there? Yeah. These loops on the right, I only have one shop each. God, this whole place, this loop right here that the three of them are in is dangerous. There's only like what, one shop that's a double-digit price? I think so. Yeah, it literally just one shop, and it's because I keep forgetting to invest in it. Oh my god. I'm gonna reach the fucking threshold and I won't be able to get back. Oh. Gosh, okay. So, real quick, what is this store? Dairy. It just says dairy. What the fuck? A general store. A pizza shack. A florist. Sports shop. Grocery store. Station. So, okay. We have a grocery store and a general store. You know, essentials. Mind you. Dairy, I guess you could say, is an essential. Are extremely expensive shops to stop at. But the sports shop is a tiny little underfunded shack. It's poetic, really. And then this is a clothing store. That's a shop value of $931. Oh my god. Okay. That would put me there. That would connect them all. I don't know if I want that. What if I went up here? 4, 5, 6, 1800, 6, 2100. Regardless, I don't even need that. Buyout price 800. Oh, that's not too bad actually. Buyout price 1050. 1800, 2100. I do need that if I want to try to eke out another level before ending the before ultimately winning. This game is brutal. I would have stayed at home. God. Me, every time I have to fill up my car with gas and I see the gas price. Man, this game kind of fucked up. Graphics are nice though. Oh, I thought she was gonna spruce that one up. No. Been like, this will cost you $5,000. Oh man. This game is fucking brutal. I will say the one thing that really sets this game apart from something like Monopoly is the fact that you have the chance, I would argue a better chance, of getting ahead or taking victory out of the jaws of defeat is because of all of the little events, the suits, the venture cards, you know, all of those things enable you to you know, try to recover, you know, and plus you could always, you know, sell. Oh, excuse me. Whereas Monopoly, you know, once you get the key spaces, it's over. It's so over. Because it's like a big thing. Like, Fortune Street, you know, most of the maps have the stock market element. This map doesn't, which is kind of a shame, but, you know, whatever. Maybe it's supposed to, and I set the settings wrong. That's possible. But you know, man, it's just, I feel like this is better in a lot of ways. No, I don't want to stop there. Yes, I want to go here. See if I cannot strengthen my empire more. Alright. Man, Daisy's getting clobbered. Oh my god. No, I will not hold back. Seven panels. Special arcade. Interesting. Okay. Round the blocks. Man, this is so wild, because the last board, we were all getting the round the blocks, and we were all getting something. But this map decided, no, I don't think I will. Like, what? Why? 'Cause I hate you. Alright. 3. Oh, I could do that. Yeah, okay. Yes, let's spruce things up. I would like to make this dangerous, if you get my meaning. So that, God, they're all 3 digits now. If you get trapped in there, you're fucked. Oh. The only thing that keeps me from having a monopoly is that one store. Yes, give me your money! I'm so close to victory. I can smell it. I can taste it. And it tastes delicious. Bye! Have fun in hell! God, what's the one fucking vine? You're all going to hell. Bye-bye! God. Also, I just remembered, I was reminded, actually, watching, some, like, Doctor Who edits, because I haven't seen the show in forever, but, like, the Doctor Who community is actually, makes really good edits, of, like, the Doctor to, like, really cool songs or whatever, and there was, like, one thing where, his companion was like, there's nothing, we can do, da-da-da-da-da, or whatever. And she's like, you know, what can we do? And the Doctor's like, go to hell. And she's like, yeah, that's fair. And he's like, no. Like, literally, we can go to hell. we can just go straight past Cerberus and walk right in. And go snatch your partner straight out of hell. You know, against the will of Satan. And it's so wild. Because that means that hell is now canon in Doctor Who. Like, it is an actual reality in Doctor Who. Which means there is also a heaven. Because, biblically speaking, hell cannot exist, at least not the hell in Christianity and Catholicism. That cannot exist without heaven, because it is a domain of a fallen angel. So hell exists, which means heaven exists. Capital Venture, you can pay 100 gold for the chance to invest in your shop. Pay 100 gold to invest? So, pay to invest? Yeah, sure, why not? No more capital. No more. No more. You can be invested. La da dee, la da da. Let's bump you. Good God, 522 for groceries. What have I done? I have become America. All players scramble to another player's location. Uh-oh. Where am I going to be placed? Also, if I get placed on a portal, do I instantly get... Oh, no, we just all went there. Okay. So I didn't move at all. Cool. Love that. Made a whole line. Buy a suit your venture. Okay. Also, like, just as like a an aside, to go back to what I was talking about earlier about like mental health struggles and all that, if like you know that like you do not have a history of mental illness and yet you are experiencing like symptoms, like especially like issues with motivation or, you know, feelings of despair or whatever, it could, and also more importantly, you're an American. If you're an American feeling those things, it's probably because you are watching your country fall apart before your eyes. What the fuck? What the hell is that? A cameo adventure, a goodie bag appears. You must stop many times at shops. Interesting. Shop till you gumdrop, that's what I say. What the fuck? Oh, he's an infinite source of money, and so he'll just, like, land on shops. Okay. That's right, I totally forgot he existed. Oh, man. Come on, it's my turn. Shoot, where's that gonna put? Okay, right there. Yes. Let me level up, and that'll push me over the threshold. Promotion comes with a pay packet of nearly $2,000. Oh, and I just auto win, because I'm already at the bank. Congratulations! You've exploited the working class. Good job! You have enough money to topple a small nation. Oh, excuse me. First Fortunist. Interesting. Property Patinate. Capital Captain. And then she got Capital Captain. Okay, interesting. Now for special prizes. Take away Braun Shopaholic Shield and Braun Fortunist Cup and In Arrow Award. Net worth stamp. I don't know what those are. Oh, sorry. If you want to see this, take a look. Okay. Take a look. Okay. Take a look. Okay. That was your opportunity to pause, by the way. Also, this is an on-demand video. You can go back and pause. Main menu. Stand for any... Yes, we are aware. Alright. Oh, I did have easy rules on. God damn it. I was like, man, that's so weird. It's because when I was getting this ready, I was being absent-minded. Okay. Alright. That is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Next time on Freedom. Freedom? The fuck? I almost said Freedom Fighters. No. Next time on Fortune Street, we're going to do the next map. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then. Bye bye.